This episode is brought to you by Amazon Prime. There's nothing sweeter than baking cookies during the holidays. With Prime, I get all my ingredients delivered right to my door, fast and free, no last-minute store trips needed. And of course, I blast my favorite holiday playlist on Amazon Music. It's the ultimate soundtrack for creating unforgettable memories. From streaming to shopping, it's on Prime. Visit Amazon.com/Prime to get more out of whatever you're into.
Hey, it's Austin James. If you're like me, trying to live your best life while living with diabetes, you can relate to worrying if you're doing a good job managing your diabetes. I use the Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor to get real-time glucose readings and see the impact of every meal and activity to make better decisions. The Freestyle Libre 3 Plus sensor can help me live life with diabetes on my own terms, and it gives me more time for the things I love, like being a dad and a musician. Now this is progress. Learn more at freestylelibre.us.
For prescription only. Safety info found at freestylelibre.us.
Subtle results, still you, but with fewer lines. Botox Cosmetic, onabotulinum toxin A, is a prescription medicine used to temporarily make moderate to severe frown lines, crow's feet, and forehead lines look better in adults.
Effects of Botox Cosmetic may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness may be a sign of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Don't receive Botox Cosmetic if you have a skin infection. Side effects may include allergic reactions, injection site pain, headache, eyebrow and eyelid drooping, and eyelid swelling. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Tell your doctor about medical history, muscle or nerve conditions including ALS or Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis, or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects. For full safety information, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
See for yourself at BotoxCosmetic.com.
Thanks for choosing this free Anfield Index podcast. If you'd prefer to listen to this or any of our other shows without adverts, then now's the time to check out Anfield Index Pro. With AI Pro, you can supercharge your entire listening experience. You'll not only get all of our podcasts without the ads, but you'll have them far faster with our Quick Publish feature available exclusively for subscribers. AI Pro also puts you in the heart of our sound studio, with an option to listen to many of our shows live and interact with the podcasters in real time as the shows are recording. Upgrading couldn't be easier. AI Pro is available on all popular podcast platforms. Just head on over to AnfieldIndexPro.com and get started today.
Hello and welcome to your Daily Red podcast. It's again me, Guy, both the Daves are away, and we have a game to reflect on. We obviously beat Girona 1-0 in the Champions League last night, continuing our 100% record in the new format of the Champions League, which is always a lovely sentence, isn't it? It's not bad going. It's not bad going. We had a tough draw, and we've pissed it. It's great. It's great. And now we go into the new year with a couple games remaining, and I think we're basically qualified. I think basically 99% qualified. I think we can officially qualify tonight, depending on results in the other Champions League games. So, yeah, that's good. That's good. But we'll have a look at the game from last night. Obviously, I was on Raw, so I won't bore you too much with any great details. And it wasn't the greatest game anyway, because it was a bit basketball-y at times and a bit of over-reliance on Alisson, which is, it's always nice. I'll probably come on to Alisson because it's lovely having him back. But yeah, we win. We get a penalty. Mo Salah scores it. Pretty clear penalty. I saw the pundits on TikTok, because why would you watch TNT Sports punditry? Because God damn. Not for me. And they were saying it's just a soft penalty. He literally takes his boot off. Like, how is it not a penalty? I just don't understand. Like, it's 2024. It's a stonewall penalty. Moore scores it, as he, usually does. Maybe not all the time. But, yeah, comfortable penalty. As we said on Raw going into the game, the result, it did matter, but at the same time, if we drew that, I don't think anyone would have been overly bothered. We just kind of summarise how it felt watching that game last night. It's a bit of a strange one. But yeah, the game itself, bit basketball-y. As I mentioned, we relied a bit too heavily on Alisson, but it's so nice to have him back. The best keeper in the world. Now, I don't think he had anything extraordinary to do last night. It's not like he was making worldy save after worldy save, but just the dependability and the insurance of having him there, and knowing that the best goalkeeper in the world is between your sticks. It is just reassuring. I think Jim mentioned it as a comfort blanket last night, and I think that's the perfect way of putting it. And that's not to say that Kelleher wasn't giving off the same vibe, but the name, just Alisson Becker, just exudes confidence. It exudes aura of the world's best. And there's a reason for that. Like, I never doubted him not saving any of those chances. I mean, maybe it's because he was up against Dan Juma and co at times, but it just, yeah, it's a weird one to put into words, and I don't want anything to say that, Kelleher wouldn't have saved any of those. I think Kelleher would have saved all of them comfortably. But it was just nice seeing Alisson back there, because for so many years now he's just been just so near perfect with everything he does, like in terms of like being one-on-one or even just making just general save. Positionally, I don't think there's a keeper anywhere near him. Claiming crosses, I mean, you could probably only have Courtois in there, and that's because Courtois is 7 foot tall. Yeah, he is just the perfect goalkeeper other than his recent injury record, and that's just weird. I mean, I think someone in one of my WhatsApp groups made a point that he looks slightly lighter, which, yeah, I mean, kind of looking at it, you can kind of see where that's coming from. So maybe if he is slightly lighter, it might help lessen the injuries, and we've already seen the impact on it so far. I mean, Ibu's injury was an impact injury. Jota's was an impact injury. I'm touching all the wood. We've not lost anyone huge due to picking up a muscle injury or just a fatigue injury. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm just trying to play this into reality right now. But the new medical ways are seemingly working. And I think Alisson mentioned he basically had a mini pre-season during his rehabilitation. So if we thought maybe slimming him down might help, I might be completely wrong. It might just be misremembering, or we're used to seeing Kelleher there for the recent months. But yeah, it's just awesome to have Alisson back. He's the world's best keeper. He just is. The other story coming out of the match last night is the discussion around Darwin Nunez, and it was a part of Raw last night, and it's a tough one because he is so likable, and I think everyone wants him to do well because he's a Liverpool player. We've spent, as a club, what was it, like 63 rising to 80 odd or something like that. I don't know. The number always changes depending, doesn't it? So he's obviously up there for near enough our record signing, even if he is our record signing. And the end product is clearly not there at the minute. I think I saw a stat that he's got 3 goals in 30 games or something. I might be wrong in that. But he sent out some Instagram posts or tweets or whatever, saying, "They are not all, they are some. Thank you, Reds, for your support. We are all still together." And he brought out another one saying resilience or resiliencia, which I probably butchered Spanish, but resilience, obviously. Yeah, I think it's going to be a tough time for Darwin because we've got Jota coming back, we've got Chiesa coming back, and ultimately, he had some very bright moments, and the thing is, I can't put them together in my head right now. I can't pick them out, but he did have some good moments in this run whilst there was people out injured. But I think he needed to do more because Jota was clearly the undisputed number 9 coming into at the start of the season because Jota started the majority of the games when we weren't rotating, and it was a big opportunity with the injuries to him and to Jota and Chiesa for Darwin to put a real stamp on his position in the squad, and I just don't think he's done that. Like, the link-up play has not been as good as it was last season. Like, I can't remember the exact numbers, but obviously Darwin had a good amount of assists last year. I think he was only second to Mo, if I remember correctly. And we know the finishing's erratic, but it's now getting to the time, every time he's through on goal, you're just like, he's not going to score. He's not going to score. And I know Darwin, I don't know if he's talking about the Liverpool fan base or fan media like I'm doing right now in terms of the discussion around Darwin, but it is an important one to have because it almost feels like this is the season Darwin needed to kind of rescue his Liverpool. Is that too harsh? That might be too harsh, but I think this was the season under a new manager. This is the manager who didn't buy you. Darwin was clearly a Klopp and Linders and whatever, and the reports that came out when Klopp left, that Darwin wasn't exactly one from the number people or the nerds, as we call them. So he had this fresh opportunity under a new manager. There's no strings attached, and I just don't think he's taking it. And the sad thing is, the talent is clearly there. We've seen that in purple patches, especially in his seasons under Klopp, but under Slot, we know it's all about control. And considering he was nicknamed the Chaos Merchant for 2 years, it just doesn't. I just don't see how it'll click together. And it's, yeah, we all hope that he does develop and he does go on a run, because it's probably going to be a tough one to sell, because we're probably not going to get the money back unless Saudi does a favour. But I don't see someone like Darwin going to Saudi in the peak of his career. And other than that, would anyone in the Premier League take him? They probably would, but maybe not for anywhere near the fee we'd take him. Anyone in Serie A, there's not loads of money in that league. La Liga, you could kind of see him at Atletico Madrid, but they've just bought Julian Alvarez for big money. The big two probably won't need him. I mean, Real Madrid do need a striker, but I don't think Darwin's the striker they'd want.
This episode is brought to you by Disney Plus. Game on, because ESPN Plus content is available on Disney Plus. You can watch your favorites from Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus together like never before. With ESPN Plus, unwrap a full day of NBA action on Christmas Day. Tip off the festivities with the Spurs and Knicks, followed by the Mavs and Timberwolves. Then a clash between the Lakers and Warriors, followed by the 76ers and Celtics. And finally, the Nuggets face off against the Suns, all streaming December 25th. Then with Hulu, watch the terrifying sci-fi thriller Alien Romulus, where a group of young space colonizers come face to face with the ultimate horror. And on Disney Plus, follow the adventures of 4 kids across the galaxy as they meet unlikely allies and enemies in Star Wars Skeleton Crew, starring Jude Law. All of these and more now streaming and available with a bundle subscription. Visit disneyplus.com for details. Terms apply.
Deck your home with Blinds.com. Blinds.com. DIY or let us install. Free design consultation. Free. Plus free samples and free shipping. Free.
Head to Blinds.com now for up to 40% off select styles, plus a free professional measure. Rules and restrictions may apply.
This episode is brought to you by AWS. Amazon Q Business is the new generative AI assistant from AWS. Many tasks can make business slow, like wading through mud. Help! Luckily, there's a faster, easier, less messy choice. Amazon Q can securely understand your business data to help you streamline tasks, like summarizing quarterly results or doing complex analyses in no time. Q got this. Learn what Amazon Q Business can do for you at aws.com/learn more.
France, PSG, Luis Enrique is probably a similar boat, if not more obsessed with control in terms of the manager in Luis Enrique, so probably not. Turkey is always an option, I suppose, but again, is that not just a couple steps up from Saudi? It's a tough one. It's a tough one. So I'm not saying we're going to be stuck with Darwin, But we'll either have to take a loss or we may have to just think he's just going to be Divock Origi, which is very useful, but at the same time, Divock Origi stepped up in huge moments for Liverpool, and we haven't really seen that from Darwin just yet, which is a shame, but yeah, it's going to be an interesting remainder of the season for Darwin, because if Jota comes back and he doesn't pick up any more injuries, he's going to be probably the undisputed 9. If Chiesa comes back, I think, if I remember correctly, I don't know what, Arnie Slot, I think this is Darwin Nunez, Arnie Slot name-checked Chiesa as someone who could fill in as the number 9 role. I think that's when it was only Darwin and we were talking about rotation, and I'm guessing that's when Diaz scored the hat-trick as a striker. So yeah, it's a tough one for Darwin. It really is. It's hopefully he figures it out, but you see it more and more. And I know Twitter's Twitter and etc., but you do see more and more people every time you hop on that hellish site losing patience with him, and you can really understand why. But hopefully for him and for Liverpool's sake, he does go on a stretch. A purple patch, but more importantly, I want to see the hold-up play develop. That's my main thing, because I think the goals will come. He's one of those players where the goals will probably come in patches. But if he's offering something in terms of link-up play with Mo, or getting Diaz or Gakpo more involved on the left, that's fine. We had a striker for years who wasn't the most prolific in Bobby Firmino. Now he's never gonna be that levels of play of link-up play, but nobody really is. But if he can play a big part in terms of getting the ball to Mo more often, or just simply taking pressure off Mo, because even last night, Girona were marking Mo Salah at times with 3 players, and you're like, is that what they think of the rest of our front line? Just don't have to defend. I know they were playing very deep, but sometimes it's the 9's job to help alleviate that pressure and take up extra men. So yeah, it's a weird one. It's a weird one with Darwin, but hopefully it improves. It's not the most busiest day news-wise. Obviously, we had the game. There's games tonight in the Champions League, which don't really affect us. Like the other English teams, I think City and Arsenal play tonight. I don't care. I don't care that they're playing. We're basically qualified. I mean, City obviously need the result. I think Arsenal aren't in as dire a situation. I'll actually open up the league table just because I've chatted about it now, just to have a look. League phase. We're top, of course we are. And then we're on 18 points. The team in second, Bayer Leverkusen, on 13. Then it's Villa on 13. Inter on 13. Brest on 13. Barca on 12, but they play tonight. Dortmund on 12, they play tonight. I think they play each other, actually. So, and then Bayern Munich round out the top 8. So at the minute, they're the teams going through. Arsenal are in 10th. They can overtake Atalanta and Bayern tonight if they win. I think they're playing Monaco, if I remember correctly. Monaco are on 10 points as well with Arsenal, so the winner of that can go in there. Sporting, Lille, who play tonight, can again go overtake Bayern. Club Brugge doing really well. Man City are 20th on 8 points. Again, they play tonight, so they could go up to 11. So they can make a massive jump. I mean, who are Man City playing tonight? Juventus, so it'll probably be a 0-0 draw looking at Juventus' result this season. So, does anyone really care? I mean, Man City, in terms of if they went out the Champions League, it'd obviously be hugely embarrassing, but it'd probably help their league form. So if they get into the playoff stage, it'd be great for us. Arsenal, again, you'd want them in the playoffs because they get 2 extra games against probably a difficult side. And Villa, top 3. I mean, Villa aren't really anything to do with us in terms of the Premier League, so that's great. That I don't really care. PSG 24th, 7 points. Dear me, not good. Yeah, the Champions League's a bit weird. I mean, I kind of like the new format, but we've just took the piss out of it. Yeah. But in terms of other news, I mean, there was some comments from Alisson about him, the team not being machines and not playing well against Girona, and Arne Slot had some kind of harsher words about it, about the team not playing well and how they just maybe they just wanted to test Alisson to see if he was actually fit and ready to go, and he bloody was. Yeah, I mean, that's two not great performances in a row with Newcastle and Girona. I think we had the big discussion on Raw last night about the midfield possibly not doing the best defensively in those games. And yeah, I'm not saying like bin off Gravenberch or anything like that. We obviously saw Endo come on very late, so it is going to be the main four in terms of playing. Obviously, McAllister's suspended for the weekend. I mean, January is only round the corner, and we know we wanted in that position. If the defensive work continues at this rate, it wouldn't surprise me if we do go for something in January, because, well, we know Arne Slot's a harsh man, and he probably will make that decision. The title's obviously there to be won, so if the midfield defensive work is on a downward trend, injecting a new face in there, is it going to do anything bad? Probably not. It might inspire Gravenberch and Jones to step up in that regard, and McAllister, who I think less so. Obviously, he wasn't involved last night. When you can't really doubt Dom Szoboszlai's work rate. Obviously, coming from the 10, playing deeper at times to help out. It's a weird. Probably a conversation to have closer to January. But if the defensive work doesn't improve, it wouldn't surprise. Anfield Index will have a quick look at in terms of if my computer wouldn't be very slow. It's obviously a lot about the game last night. There is links to a Ecuadorian centre-back called Joel Ordonez. Let's go with that. And I see the name Chelsea in there, so a bit of PTSD linked with Ecuadorian players. Yeah, if we probably do need another centre-back. I'm not sure how ready he'd be, but if he's playing first-team football already, I think that's Club Brugge he's playing for. Yeah, he's playing for Club Brugge, so he's playing at a decent level already, 20-year-old. Yeah, it might be one, maybe a loan for a year. Obviously, there's always rumours about Joe Gomez wanting to become a starter somewhere. There's obviously the talks about a new deal for Ibu. But if there's a young centre-back who's playing, I mentioned Club Brugge doing well in the Champions League, already doing well in a Champions League level, you'd be stupid not to. But yeah, fair enough. Never seen him play. But I'm sure everyone would be intrigued, maybe even excited if you have seen him. There's stuff about the contract talk from the weekend where Mel Reddy, I think I talked about it yesterday actually, Mel Reddy talking about Salah's deal progressing, which is always good. In terms of podcasts, we obviously had the Gags Tandon show on YouTube. We had Raw last night, which I've mentioned throughout the show. Stuff to come during the week. Still have a fatigue index in the bag. I just need to stop being lazy and actually do that. Tomorrow, or Thursday, whenever you're listening to this, we have, I need to confirm with Nina, but I'm guessing we're doing Euro Incision, which means I get to talk about the game for a third time, which is great. Medium Matters, I think that's David Lynch, but I can't be bothered scrolling back up in this WhatsApp because it'll take ages. AI Scouted, it's more of me. Again, I'm sorry. But it's going to be me and Carl, so we'll be doing the Fulham preview tomorrow morning. So if you're interested in listening live on Discord, I think we said about 10:30 to 11. Or 11, I should say. Not just going to do a half an hour pod. About 10:30 or 11 UK time. So if you are looking for something to listen to on your morning, or maybe you've taken an early break or whatever, or maybe you're just waking up in America. There's something to listen to on Discord there. That'll be out. Rival Recon, Harry said, will probably be with us either Thursday evening or Friday. We've got post-conference presser on Friday. So whenever Arnie Slot does his, Dave D will do his show. We'll probably have like 17 other random stuff from Dave Davis as well. He's been away for 2 days. Thursday's going to be manic. He's going to do 17 shows. And then Saturday we obviously have the post-match stuff. I'm pretty sure we play at 3:00. So yeah, by about 5 we'll be back in the saddle. And we'll keep you posted whether Trev's back for that. If not, it'll probably be me. But unfortunate for you lot. But I'm pretty sure Dave Hendrick's back for that one. At least I think Dave Hendrick's back by Friday, so it'll be him back with Daily Red and Two Footed on Friday. I think Dave Davis is actually back to cover this tomorrow, so at least you get less of me, which is always great for you people. But I think that's it, really. There wasn't too much news-wise today. But thank you, everyone, for listening. Goodbye.
We hope you enjoyed listening to this Anfield Index show. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel so future podcasts find their way to your device automatically. There's nothing quite like fan engagement, and we'd love to know what you think of anything discussed on this show. The best way to get in touch is over on our free Discord community, where both podcasters and listeners debate the hottest LFC topics 24/7. Sign up free now at AnfieldIndex.com/Discord. You won't regret it. You can also follow us on Twitter at Anfield Index and find us on Facebook by searching for Anfield Index. Oh, and before you go, we'd love it if you could leave us a 5-star review on your favourite podcast app. It only takes a couple of seconds, and it means the world to the people who create these free shows.
This podcast is part of the Sports Social Podcast Network.
Imagínate escuchar tu canción favorita como si fuera la primera vez. Te presentamos el totalmente nuevo y reimaginado Nissan Kicks con sonido Bose Personal Plus y bocinas en la parte superior de los asientos para crear una experiencia 360. Jamás has escuchado algo así. Reimagina tu música y tu forma de manejar. Descubre el totalmente nuevo y reimaginado Nissan Kicks en nissanusa.com. Función disponible. Bose es una marca registrada de The Bose Corporation.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.